Yes, my people, welcome back to another video and welcome back to the Glory Hunter Challenge. Today, we have got a double live cob with 2 trophies that we need to win in order to complete the Glory Hunter Challenge. Today, we start off with the FA Cup third round tie against Southampton, and then we are going to be taking a trip to Holland to face Utrecht in the Europa League. Now, as you can see, it is now January, which means that we have played a bit of the season. And if I just scroll up quickly, last time we were here, we faced off against West Ham United and beat them 4-1 with Ollie Watkins scoring a hat-trick. And then we also played against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup quarter-final and beat them on penalties. Since then, we faced against Manchester United in the league and won 3-1. Ollie Watkins, Yuri Tielemans and Morgan Rogers getting themselves a goal each. We then beat Chelsea 2-1 away with Harvey Elliott getting the opener. João Pedro pegging us back and getting an equaliser for Chelsea. But Pau Torres a minute later scoring the winner to make it 2-1. We then continued our brilliant run against Arsenal, where we scored a late equaliser to make it 1-1 and get ourselves a draw against Arsenal. We then beat Nottingham Forest 4-0 at home with Morgan Rogers getting himself a hat-trick and Lucas Digne getting himself one as well. Unfortunately though, in our most recent game, the run came to an end where we were undone by Crystal Palace, losing 3-1 in this one, with Morgan Rogers scoring our only goal. Now, the Carabao Cup draw has been made, and I was going to come back for the Carabao Cup, but I thought to myself, we could do the FA Cup game here, and then the Europa League game here, and then come back for the Newcastle game here as a single live cob. In case, and it's also a second leg, so that's more pressure on it than this one. So I thought that would be better for the series. So, without further ado, let's get into this FA Cup game against Southampton and see how we will be lining up. Now, obviously, as I previously said earlier in this video, the FA Cup is a trophy that we need to win. So this is a very important game, and we have gone full strength for it. So we line up as follows. Martinez in goal, with Cash, Concert, Pau Torres and Digne in defence, with a midfield 3 of Boubacar Kamara, Yuri Tielemans and Harvey Elliott, up to 20 goal involvements now for the season. Morgan Rogers starts on the right, also up to 20 goal involvements. Jadon Sancho starts on the left, with Ollie Watkins hit 20 goals now for the season, leading the line. Hopefully, we can get ourselves a win and get into the 4th round of the FA Cup. Let's see how Southampton will be lining up for it. Okay then, Southampton are going to line up for this FA Cup third round tie as follows. A lot of teams play 5-back, I have noticed that, and I also noticed that Jay Robinson, a good young player on Football Manager this year, misses out. So, they have gone with McCarthy in goal, Harwood Bellis, Stevens and Quarshire as their back 3, with Rolosev and Gellert as their wing-backs, with Shea Charles and Oriel Romeo as their 2 in midfield, with Tom Fellows on the right, Cienza on the left and Ross Stewart leading the line for Southampton. We are at home and we are full strength for this one. So hopefully we can get our FA Cup campaign underway with a big win and get ourselves in to the 4th round, as Ollie Watkins gets us underway for this one, with Harvey Elliott playing. Oh, bloody hell, I thought we were about to get in there. As let's have a little look at other teams that are facing off against each other. Everton, Leicester, one of those going out. Newcastle, Manchester City, one of those going out would be lovely for us. Arsenal Burnley, not bad, getting another Premier League team out there, although I do back us to beat Burnley, someone like Burnley in an FA Cup 4th or 5th round, but obviously the less Premier League teams in it, the better. There's not much happening here in the first 15 minutes of this game, unfortunately. As a highlight does occur as Rodgers goes back to Konsa. Pau Torres now on the ball. Finds Digne. Digne now. Finding Tielemans. Goes back into Digne. Digne cutting in. Finds Jadon Sancho. It falls to Tielemans. And it's a brilliant save from Alex McCarthy to just push that over the bar. As Burnley find themselves 1-0 up against Arsenal here, which would be lovely if they could knock Arsenal out. Arsenal and Manchester City both going out in the third round would be ideal. As Cash throws to Kamara. Harvey Elliott now finds Morgan Rodgers, who finds Ollie Watkins. Elliott finds Morgan Rodgers with a lovely ball. Morgan Rodgers forces another brilliant save out of Alex McCarthy, who is keeping Southampton level in this opening first half here. As it looks like we are going to go into the break level. The deadlock yet to be broken at Villa Park by either side. As I've just seen, Arsenal have got a goal back in their tie against Burnley. As Stewart gets Southampton underway for this second half. As Harwood Bellis finds the fullback, who gives the ball straight to Digne. Martinez now finds Konsa into Matty Cash. Cash cutting in and finding Harvey Elliott. Gives it to Konsa yet again. Konsa back to Harvey Elliott. Pau Torres finding Konsa. Konsa driving forward. Harvey Elliott plays a good ball through to Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins finds Morgan Rodgers. And Morgan Rodgers, the man of the moment at the minute, scored in the last 3 previous live comms, gets himself another goal and puts us 1-0 up here in the FA Cup third round. It's a great through ball by Harvey Elliott, just in the channel. Finds Ollie Watkins, who plays a good ball back, and Morgan Rodgers lashes it in. McCarthy unable to stop this one. As thankfully we do find ourselves 1-0 up. As Torres heads away and Morgan Rodgers is there to pick the ball up. Rodgers finds Kamara, who finds Harvey Elliott. Tielemans now finds Sancho, who plays a good quick ball through to Watkins, who finds Morgan Rodgers. And it's a good stop from McCarthy yet again. Alex McCarthy having a good game here for Southampton, just keeping the score down to as minimum as possible. As Tielemans with the free kick for Aston Villa here. Goes to Harvey Elliott at the edge of the area. Back to Tielemans, who gives it back to Harvey Elliott. And it's another brilliant save from Alex McCarthy. As Sancho with the delivery, trying to find Torres, but it's headed away, but only as far as Jadon Sancho, who cuts in and finds Harvey Elliott. And it's against the post. Southampton hanging on for dear life here. As Romeo tries to find the forward run, but Digne is there to sweep up and defend brilliantly. As Konsa driving with it. Tielemans trying to find that ball through to Rodgers, but Matty Cash picks the ball up. Can Cash find the Villa player in the middle? He finds Harvey Elliott, and Harvey Elliott is just over the bar from the young English midfielder. It's Alex McCarthy now. It's been a very hectic start to this second half here. As McCarthy to take, goes short to Quashire. who finds Cienza. Gellart now, trying to cut in, goes back to Romeu, but it's dispossessed by Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans driving through, it's blocked by the Southampton defender, and Southampton regain possession. Stewart finds Romeu, who plays a good ball out to Tom Fellows. Fellows pulling it back to Stewart, to Cienza, and it's a brilliant save from Emi Martinez. The first time he has been called into action here today. As Arsenal find themselves 2-1 up, as Martinez claims brilliantly there. Aston Villa could do with a second goal here, just to ease the nerves, as Konsa driving out from the back there. Matty Cash plays a good ball through to Ollie Watkins, who's got to score, and he does. Ollie Watkins gets his 21st goal of the season. He gets his first in the FA Cup this year. Matty Cash with a brilliant ball over the top, and this will see it much better. It's a brilliant ball from Matty Cash. And Ollie Watkins, we've seen this a lot. The composure just to slot it in the near post past Alex McCarthy. And it's Aston Villa 2, Southampton 0. And you have to wonder, is that game over? As Southampton, only for a brief spell, looked like they were going to create something. As time now trickling away as we approach the final 20 minutes of this one. We are going to make some changes. As Digne comes off for Maatsen, and there is the new signing, Tomiyasu, on a free. As Onana can come on as well. And Tomiyasu going to make his debut here today for Aston Villa in the FA Cup. As Donyell Marlin is the last player to come on. As we are into the final 15 minutes here. Everton drawing with Leicester. Arsenal look out of sight now from Burnley. The big game here, Newcastle, Manchester City, still level. And Wolves are losing to Oxford, which is another Premier League side which could be knocked out here. As Maatsen tries to find Torres, but it falls back to Maatsen, who goes back to Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley finds Morgan Rogers, and Morgan Rogers gets his second of the game, and Aston Villa's third, and that is game over here in the FA Cup third round, as it looks like we will indeed be progressing through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. As Stewart trying to get a goal back for Southampton, and that is hard luck for Southampton. The flag is up though, as we are into the final 5 minutes here. No goal yet in the Newcastle-Manchester City game, as we are into the final 5 minutes of injury time here. It's been a good, comfortable performance with Rodgers and Watkins getting the goals, as Newcastle get themselves a goal, and it looks like Manchester City are out of the FA Cup in the third round, as we are through to the fourth round in comfortable fashion, which is what we love to see. As attention does now turn to the Europa League, but we do have 2 games in between, so I will see you with the results of those 2 games and our lineup to face Utrecht at home in the Europa League. Okay then, we are back with the Europa League tie against Utrecht, and we have got 2 pieces of information to go over first. First off, we have played 2 games since our 3-0 win in the FA Cup, and we played the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final, where we lost 2-1 to Newcastle at St James's Park, which means that we can go back to Villa Park and we are only 1 goal down, which puts us in a good position for next episode, where we will face Newcastle and Portsmouth in a double live com. We then, however, played against Everton in the Premier League and picked up a 1-0 win. We sit 6th, 3 points off of the top 4, with a little bit of a gap down to 7th and 8th. So hopefully should be able to get Europa League at least.
And then the other piece of news is we have made a signing. We have picked up Facundo Torres for £13 million. 25 years of age, starting to get into his prime, having a good season so far in Brazil, and we have picked him up for 13 million, but unfortunately he is not registered for the Europa League yet because we haven't had a new registration period, so he will be unable to play today, but hopefully we'll be back soon. And as you can see, Emi Martinez is out with the flu, so our lineup for today is Bizot in goal, Cash, Concert, Pau Torres and Digne in defence, with Kamara, Tielemans and Harvey Elliott in midfield, Morgan Rogers on the right, with Jadon Sancho on the left and Ollie Watkins leading the line. Hopefully we can get ourselves a win and guarantee qualification through to the round of 16 in the Europa League. Let's see how the Dutch side will be lining up. Okay then,
here is the Utrecht lineup for today. They've gone with Barkas in goal and a back four of Ekaris, Blasnin, Morik and Merkin, with a midfield two of Can Bozdogan and Zekel, with Rodriguez on the right, Kathleen on the left, De Witt in the 10, partnering Sebastian Haller, ex-West Ham United striker, leading the line. A win guarantees us qualification through to the round of 16. So let's get ourselves the win as Haller gets us underway for this Europa League game at Villa Park. With Matty Cash intercepts straight away as we currently sit 5th place in the Europa League. Hopefully we can get ourselves a win here today, as Digne with the free kick goes short to Rogers, who finds Sancho, who finds Ollie Watkins. The Utrecht defenders appealing for offside here. It will go to VAR, who are checking, and it has been disallowed. Ollie Watkins just made his run that little bit too early, as we can see, as Rogers finds Sancho. And yeah, Ollie Watkins just making that run a little bit too early, but it's a promising sign and a promising start to the game for Aston Villa, where hopefully a win will guarantee us round of 16 qualification, where hopefully from there we can get a good round of 16 opponent and make a proper dent into trying to win our first trophy of the Glory Hunter Challenge. As not much has happened since that offside disallowed goal. As I just saw down there, Roma are losing to Genk 2-1 in this one, as we are coming to the end of the first half here. And we do come into the break level 0-0. The deadlock has not been broken by either side here so far in this first half. This was the same in the FA Cup, as Ollie Watkins gets us underway, who finds Matty Cash out on the right hand side. Roma turning that 2-1 around, as it is now 3-2, as Digne heads away to Sancho. Jadon Sancho now trying to find Tielemans, who finds Digne instead. Digne now driving forward with it, tries to find Ollie Watkins, and it's a brilliant save from the Utrecht goalkeeper. As we are going to give a shout of encouragement and go attack him, as Matthias Sule, a really good player on Football Manager this year, scoring the third for Genk. There's not much happening here in the Europa League tie at all, as we're going to demand more and bring some fresh legs on. This is where I wish I could bring Facundo Torres on, as Garcia comes on for Matty Cash. Onana at the base of midfield. We're going to bring Morgan Rogers off for Gesand and Sancho off for Marlon. And Harvey Elliott off for Emi Buendia. So hopefully those attacking changes can light a spark in us as we are into the final 15 minutes here. Nothing happening in this game at all, as we do now get a highlight as Utrecht trying to play out from the back. De Witt finds Ekaris, who finds Rodriguez, who finds Zekiel running down this right hand side, who pulls it back to Kathleen, who finds Merkin. Merkin finds Kathleen, and it's a really, really important block by Ezri Konsa there, as we are into the final 10 minutes of this game now. A draw puts us 5th still, and looks like it does qualify us for the round of 16, but we want to win the game, as Garcia cutting inside, trying to find that forward pass to Buendia. But Chan finds Kathleen, who finds De Witt running into the penalty area. Cuts inside for Utrecht and bends it, and it's a good save onto the post for Bizot, as it is a free kick to Aston Villa. Approaching the end of the game now, as Torres finds Digne. Digne driving forward, plays a switch out to Gesand, who goes back to Garcia. Buendia gives it back to Garcia. Can they find Buendia again? He can. The two of them linking up again. Pulls it back to Tielemans. But it's a tame effort from Yuri Tielemans, and it is an easy save for the Utrecht goalkeeper. And we are into the final 2 minutes here, and it looks like it's going to end goalless. And unfortunately, it does end goalless, as I don't think we've qualified for the Europa League yet, as it ends 0-0 here today in the Europa League. We will wait to see the inbox to see if we have qualified for the round of 16, and it doesn't look like we have, unfortunately, as no, I don't believe we have. However, we do face Karabag in the last Europa League game at home, so hopefully we should be able to get through. Next episode will be the Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg, and the FA Cup 4th round against Portsmouth. So if you don't want to miss that video, then make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Don't forget to follow my Twitter and check my Twitter out so you don't miss a scheduled post or when I'm going live, when I'm uploading, things like that. Don't forget to check out the Twitch, link in the description. We stream every night at around 7, half 7, 8 o'clock, where we stream our Sleaford Town save over there. And I will see you tomorrow for more Liverpool save and more Glory Hunter. Thank you for watching. Peace.